Hello guys, welcome to you all to the another session of this YouTube series where we are going to see who all were survived in the Titanic data ship, right? Now, this is a completely a machine learning task. Initially, when this disaster happened, it was not like we cannot predict what can happen. Now, it is the era of data and we have machine learning with us to help us. Now, we will predict who all survived in this Titanic data set, right? So where we must be having some questions. Are there any P class people or the upper class people who survived in the Titanic disaster? Or the person who paid more on the tickets, does they survive in that disaster? Or the people who were coming from the different gender, like females and kids, did they survive? Or the males survived more? We are going to see that, and we are going to build our machine learning model end to end on this data set, and we are going to see if next time we have the Titanic with us, okay, and the disaster is going to happen again. Hope so it doesn't happen again, but if it is going to happen again, where we should place ourselves so that we are on the surviving side. Okay, let's see this and let's start with this journey. First of all, before moving to our journey, I would thank Skill Edge for organizing such a great and such a pleasant uh, learning model, so there where you can learn all these skills at one place, like your analytics, your machine learning, Python, Tabview, Power BI, all those things under one umbrella. Okay, and Skill Edge is the right platform where they help you with your skills, and they also help you to get jobs in the subsequent field itself on the same profile. So that's really an advantage. Explore more, subscribe to our channel, get more ideas about this. And now let's start with your machine learning model. Here we go. So whenever we are starting with any of the problem, first we need to have some idea. First, we need to have some idea about that problem, what that problem is, and why we are starting with that problem. Okay. Now, someday some analyst or some data scientist thought of this. Let's do some analysis on the Titanic. Okay, Titanic ship. So he gathered all the data from different people, from different places, all the ticket numbers and all, everything. He has gathered the data, and he was like, he was finding out this point. Is it possible that this disaster was planned? Okay, there is a big question. क्या ये टाइटेनिक का जो डिजास्टर हुआ, क्या ये प्लान था? Right? So he figured out and got all the data. Okay, and he translated that data and look into some insights. Is it like rich people survive more? Is it some gender survive more? Is it some class people survive more? He tried to figure that out. Okay, now let's start with our machine learning model. So we will first import the important libraries. Okay, those who are important in our analysis that we are going to move ahead, like NumPy, which is a fast computing library where it will enhance our computing power. Then we will going to move with your pandas library, which are for your data frame and your tabular structure data. If you want to work with your tabular structure data, then we need your Python pandas. Then we have matplotlib, seaborn. These are the visualization libraries, and sklearn is completely for your machine learning task. Now, once you are moving with your problem, you should import your data. Okay, let's see what kind of data we have. Okay, so we have passenger ID, survived. Okay, so for loading your data into the model, okay, we have a read underscore CSV function. With the help of this function, or the CSV data, okay, in your pandas data frame. Okay, now we have a head function. What this head function will do, it will give you some instances of your data. Okay. So now we can see we have passenger ID. Okay. There is an ID assigned to passenger. Survived. It says 0 and 1. So 1 represents people survived. 0 represents people not able to survive. Pre-class. P-class. P-class suggests there are 3 categories. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So it represents your class, which class you set, okay, in the ship. So there are 3 classes, P1, P2, P3. So we have the 3 classes. Then we have name, then we have sex, then we have ages of people, size, parsh, ticket, fare, cabin, which cabin you belong to, and embarked. Embarked is basically from where you have started. So we have South Halls, Queensland, and Colombia, right? Okay. Now, the next point, we will check the value counts. Okay. Why we will check the value counts? Basically, that is an additional part you can look for. How many people were from each classes? Okay. How many people were there in each class? That we can figure it out with this. Okay. Then we can check the shape of our data. Okay. So what exactly the shape of your data frame is, right? That we can look ahead. Now, after that, we are going to see how many missing values are there. Okay. So what are your missing values? Values which are not been imputed. We can see age, right? 177 people didn't report to their age, right? Didn't report to their age. This means we have less 177 data points of age are missing. 177 data points of age are missing. This means females, they don't disclose their ages, right? People don't know their ages. You can imagine the time when the Titanic ship was there. So people were unable to identify their ages. So that's why we have this missing values. Okay. And the person who is collecting that information might not be able to collect that information. Okay. That can also be the reason. Now we have cabins. 687 cabins are missing. Okay. 687 cabins are missing, right? Then we have embarked. So we don't have idea 2 people from where they started, right? Now we will visualize some of the graphs. Okay. So let's see. With the help of this code, what we are doing, we are checking the survived class. Okay. How many people survived? Okay. And from which class they belongs to. Okay. How we did this? We have taken a condition. Okay. People survived. And from that data frame, we have checked the P class and their value counts. Okay. We did this for your dead people as well. Okay. Unsurvived people. And now we are doing your analysis. Now here we can see easily class 1 people, okay, survived more as compared to the unsurvived people. So if now from this graph, we can easily identify if you belongs to class 1, if you belong to class 1, then you have a higher survival rate. Then you have a higher survival rate. Okay. Now compare how many people were there from class 1. So out of 216, okay, out of 216 people, 136 survived. 136 people survived. So that means around 60%, 66% people survived, right? So chances of surviving, if you are coming from class 1, it is 66%. Okay. 80%, 80 people died. Okay. Out of 256, that is 33%. Okay. So 33% chances are of you will not survive even though you are from class 1, and 66% you will survive. Now moving to the class 2. On the class 2 side, you can see it is almost a nearly equivalent ratio. Okay. So if you belong to class 2, there are chances you will 50% you will survive, 50% you may not survive. If you move to class 3, you can easily see the distribution. Less than 25% people survived. Less than 25% people survived. If you are coming from class 3, then it is you can clearly see from this graph too. You have a higher chance, 75% chance that you will die, right? Now, sir, is there any specific reason? Yes, you can see, even we have seen that movie, you can address there itself. People from the lower side, they are on the lower side of the ship. Okay. And as your ship started sinking, right? Okay. Your people from the lower side, they didn't able to come up, right? They are unable to come up as the door were closed, something or the else the issue was, right? That's why the unsurvived ratio or dead ratio is high. Now we will do the similar analysis with the gender. Now we will do the similar analysis with your gender. Is there any possibility that some gender were preferred while they were while evacuating or surviving? So same condition we did. Survived equal to 1, taken a data frame, and then we have selected the sex column and taken a value counts. Similarly, we did it for dead cell, dead sex. Now, here we can see survived people, okay, female has more than 70% ratio, okay, and males have 25% ratio of surviving. You can see this direct comparison. So we can also address this with the help of that movie where we have checked this out, right? Initially the boats were filled with young kids and ladies and females, right? Males were given the second preference. That's why survived people have more advantage, right? Females have more advantage over the survived class, right? Okay. So now we know we have to be from class 1 to have a higher chance. And yes, we need to be female to get survived. So then we have a very much higher chance, right? Okay. Now we did a similar analysis with your age, right? So we have number of ages from 0 to 81 or even from 90 years of age we have, right? People in the Titanic ship. Now, what we did, we have taken a bins. On that bins, we have taken a categories. So if you belong to 0 to 5 years, you are a baby. If you belong to 5 to 12 years, you are a child. 12 to 18 years, you are a teenager. 18 to 24, you are a student. 24 to 35, you are a young adult. 35 to 60, an adult. 60 plus, seniors. Now, we did this and again move to your value counts, okay? Now you can see this. Survival rate. So babies from the age 0 to 5, they have a 70% survival rate. So if you are a baby, then you have a 70% survival rate. Okay. If you are a child between 5 to 12 years, then the survival rate goes down to 36%. Okay. Teenager, if you belongs to the age of 18 or 12 to 18, then you are a teenager, then your survival rate is nearby 42%. Okay. Student, like if you are from 18 to 24, then you are a student. Least survivor, now the least survival rate, that is 34%. Now you are young adults. Okay. From 24 to 35 and 34 to 60. So this means 24 to 60. So this adult crowd has almost an equivalent ratio. Seniors has the least survival rate. Seniors has the least survival rate. And babies have the maximum survival rate. Sir, we can figure this out. Seniors might be suffering from either this or the other disease, right? That might be the reason due to which they are unable to survive, right? They in that panic situation, they are unable to handle themselves, right? Now they didn't reach to the right positions in time, right? So that might be the reason. Now babies babies have a higher success rate. Reason? Along with females, we have seen boats were filled with babies too. Okay, females were carrying those babies, right? So that's why babies have higher survival rate, right? So this is what, as a data analyst, you have to do. You have to figure out those points, you have to figure out those facts, and you have to represent them in the proper format so that you can enhance the understanding of that data. Okay, you might be numerically very strong, but not the other guy, not your manager. Okay, so then you need some visualization part to explain your facts with the help of these visualizations. Now, if your managers ask, like if at all I ask you, right, which two groups have almost equivalent survival rate, we can directly see and see young adults and adults. They have the equivalent survival rate even without looking at the values. So this is how the representation is very much important, right? Now moving towards the next point, we have checked the move to your fair class. So now let's figure it out. Is it good? Is it really good to pay more to get survived? Is there any chances if I pay more then I have a survival rate? Let's figure out this problem. Let's figure out this problem as well. Now we have tested the survival rate for each class, right? You can see the people were paying low. People were paying low are considered as economic class. People were paying moderate were considered as business class. People coming from first class, right? People coming from first class. And you can see the survival rate. It is almost around 80% for first class people. So if you are paying more, if you are coming to first class, then the survival rate will be high. Pay more and get your life. So that kind of strategy it is, right? Pay less and the survival rate is also less. Survival rate is also less, right? So now we can look of how we got to these values. So if you are paying $0 to $100, you will be under economic class. Okay. If you are paying $100 to $250, then you will be under business class. If you are paying more than $250, then you will be under first class. And now we can see if you are paying. So now we can say if you have paid more than $250, then your chances of surviving is more. So just pay more than 100 and get a chance of 75% on your discount on your life to get survived with the Titanic dataset. Okay. Yes, it's really harsh and like to making fun of these facts is really bad. Okay. But still we can figure it out this way that there was something fishy, something wrong with this, right? Now let's move. Is there any possibility the person who have started from different location, does they survive more? Is there any kind of a distribution among them? Okay. So people survived, the people coming from your South halls, right? 217 people survived out of 427. Okay, no, and 427 died. So we can see there is an 1/3 kind of relation, right? 1/3 people survived, 2/3 died in that part, right? From South halls. Now, Colombia, like I think Colombia it is. So from Colombia, it was almost 60-40 or like 55-45, that kind of ratio it is. So it's an equivalent chance. Like if you come from South halls or Queensland, you will survive equivalently. Okay. If you are coming from South halls, then the chances rate were less. Okay. So with the help of this, we have also checked the embarked columns. Okay. Now do some data cleaning part. Okay. So we can see cabins has 70 to 80% missing values. Okay. The data is not available for your cabin class. So there is no sense in keeping that cabin column. Okay. Tickets. So tickets are not giving you any kind of ideas. Okay. Ticket numbers are, we cannot identify with the help of tickets. Passenger ID, those are nothing but the index numbers or serial numbers. We can't do any analysis on that part. Name, if at all we have name. So we don't have Shah Rukh Khan in that ship, right? So we cannot count on names, right? So that's why we will remove all those columns. Now we will left with survived. That is important. That is our target. Then we have P class. Okay. That is important. We have seen which class you belongs to. Then we have sex, which gender you belongs to. Age, we have seen. Sci-fi, we have seen. Pash, we have seen. Fare also we have seen properly. That if you pay more, you have a better chance. Now we have seen the embark class, which class you are coming from. Now we have turned this age into age groups. We know how we have changed this age to age groups, right? So 0 to 5 will be baby, 5 to 12 will be your young kids, right? This is how we have transformed this. Then we have also changed your P class to, sorry, fare to classes, right? Economy class, business class, and third one is your first class. Now we will do this and perform this task. Now we will fill the embarked values with S. Okay. Why we are filling those embarked values with S, and why we are filling that value, why we are not deleting it or dropping it. As you can see over here itself, we just have two values. Those were missing. Only two values were missing. So it's not a good idea to leave them. It's not a good idea to remove them, right? So we will fill this with your most frequent value. Okay, which is your most frequent value among the embark class? So that is Southall. Okay, we can see from this graph itself. Yeah, it is more than 600, right, up among the others. So that's why we will add two more. Okay, now what we will do, we will, as your machine learning models, okay, they are unable to understand your classes, your values. So that's why we are going to use your map function, so that we can map yes with 1, C with 2, and Queensland with 3. This is how we are going to map, so that our data frame is ready. Our data frame is ready for our machine learning problem. Now we have one more problem. This too we did. Now we have sex. We have to transform this as well. So what we will do for this? Females as 1, male as 0, right? Similarly, we can also do this for your age group and class. Now we did it baby as 0, child as 1, teenagers as 2, right? Similarly, we did for class as well. Now we left with all the numeric values. Okay, we have transformed our data into a numerical form. Okay, or transformed our data into entire numerical form, right? Now, why we did it? Why we did this part? The reason is your machine learning problem only understand the numerical values. Okay, he didn't move with the your alphanumeric values. He didn't understand the alphanumeric values. That's why we will move towards the numerical side of each group. Age group is being transformed into numbers. Class is being transformed into numbers. Sex is being transformed into numbers, right? We will move ahead this way. Now, what we will do? We will move with the same operation with your test set. We will move with the same operation with your test set, removing the columns, transforming the data, right? Transforming it into numbers, right? Now after this, what we are going to do is build your model. Now we are going to build your model. Okay, so we will be moving with your logistic regression. Why we use logistic regression? Logistic regression is a supervised machine learning model, right? Supervised. Why we call it supervised? Because we have labels available with us. Now we are going to move with the classification problem, and logistic regression is a classification problem which uses sigmoid function. Now we are activating this logistic regression model, okay, or we are calling this model, initializing it with the help of logreg. Now in this logreg variable, we will fit our train data. We will fit our train data, and this is our Y, predictive column. Here we have all the features. Here we will have your target values. Once we run this part, your model is ready for prediction. Once we run this part, your model is ready for prediction. Then we will predict some values. If I belongs to certain class, certain value, certain roomies, certain fare I have paid, certain gender I have, will I survive or not? Now your model is able to predict directly. So if at all next time your Titanic will be set up, right? So at that time, you will be able to identify with the help of this model that you will survive or not, right? Okay. So now what we did, logreg.predict, and we have passed the test set. So all the values for those test set will be provided to you, right? So which for the first instance, will it provide yes or no, that kind of answer you will get 10 10 10 and all. Now we will check, we have the right outputs with us. So we will compare using your score. Okay, how much accurately our model has performed. You can see 80% on the training set and 77% on your test set, right? 80% on your training set, 77% on the test set. This means our model is a very much generalized model, but we need to enhance our model. Okay. Now we will use your grid search CV. Why we use grid search CV? Okay. Basically, we want to cross validate. We cannot move with the one accuracy. With one accuracy, we are not sure, because we don't know how many instances it has passed, right? So we will not move with this. Then what we can do, then we have grid search CV. Okay, it is a cross validation technique where we will see the number of we will specify the number of times, and we will, based on that average accuracy we will have. Okay, now we can see average accuracy is 79%, right? Okay, so now we are moving towards your standard scaling and min max scaler. Sir, why we need this scaling? Because scaling is done on the data when your data is under some range, right? So you can see the fare is from 0 to $600, $700. So obviously, sir, it will weight very less for 0.2, 0.5 cents, 2 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, $1. It will weight very much less to that particular value, right? In that case, we need something that uniformly distribute your values. So for this, we have trained your frame value with a standard scaler and your min max scaler. So did it improve our scores? Let's see. Yes. Now our scores are 81%. Okay. Moving ahead, we will move ahead with the random forest. Okay. It is one of the brilliant classifier. Okay. Where we can have the opportunity to decide number of estimators. What are this number of estimators? How many values we are going to get for the particular instance. Okay. Same process. First, we will initialize our model. Then we will fit our data. Then we will run your predict, and you will generate your scores. As we have addressed, it is the one of the best classification model. So we get the accuracy of 98%, right? Now we can directly move with your random forest as our best classifier. We will have a recap of what we did. First, we identified the business problem. Okay. Will we survive if we travel next time in the Titanic? And where we have to start with, how much we have to pay, and what will be our chances that if we want to identify. Now with this model, we will be able to do it. Okay. First, we imported the important libraries. Okay. Then we moved to importing your data or loading your data. We loaded your data. Then we have seen your data parts. After that, we have checked how many values we are missing. Okay. that we have checked. So it's not easy to move with such values where the number is high with respect to the all the points. Okay. Now, after that, we move to the visualization part where we have seen is there any classes? Okay, and classes distribution over survived and dead that we have seen. So which class I should belong to get more number of survival rate, right? Then we have seen the gender basis. Okay, so we have clearly seen female wins in this case. So we need to be female to survive, have a greater. Then we need to come from a class 1 category so that to have a very good survival rate. Then we should have a very good, like we should be baby or else we should be an adult to have a higher survival rate. Okay. Then we did this analysis for the classes. Okay, how much fare you are paying. If you are paying more than 100, then you have a very good chance, more than 75%, right? So then we have seen the embark class where you should start from. So for each the embark classes, it is 50%. Apart from your south holes, it is just 33%. Then we did the data cleaning part, transform your data according to your model into the encodings part. Okay. Then we did this for the same for your test set. Okay. Now, finally, we move with the model building where we have initialized your model, fit your data, where X was your all features, Y is your Y values, target variable. Then we have predicted on the test. Then we have taken the accuracies on train and test. And we got this range. Okay. So there is not much difference in this. So this shows that our model is generalized model. Then we used grid search CV where we have taken the number of cross validations, number of accuracies so that we cannot rely on the single accuracy itself. So that after that we got an accuracy of 79%. Okay. Then we move to scaling. Why we move to scaling? The reason for moving towards scaling is to measure all those values under, to make all those values under one umbrella. Okay. So your value ranges from 0 to 600, but that is quite huge. So we will make it till 0 to 1, where 600 is 1 and 0 is your 0. Okay. All those values, if I like 300 will be your 0.5. Okay. So we'll transform your data using standard scaler and min max scaler. We will again predict. Now your accuracy is 81%. It's much better. With the random forest, we are getting even higher score, that is 98%, because random forest is one of the best classifier we have. So now we have the solution. Now we have the answer to it. If we are traveling to the Titanic again, we will be using this model to check our survival cases. Okay, survival rate. Okay. Now I would like to address you again. Skill Edge is the right platform for you all if you are looking your career into data analytics and data science. It is the right and perfect platform where you can showcase your skills and enhance your skills to make yourself career ready, to make yourself job ready. Okay. You can explore the website of Skill Edge. You will find number of courses. Okay. Among them, analytic and full stack are one of them, right? Where people are moving towards analytics. We are giving you why we should move towards analytics and how we can enhance and excel into analytics. Okay. So people are just moving randomly to analytics, and we are providing them the right channel and right skills so that they are just not move to that industry, they excel in that industry. So that's all guys for today. Hope you have enjoyed this video. I want to connect with you after this, and we will have number of goodie sessions coming soon, upcoming weeks. So I want you all to stay with me, stay tuned on this channel, subscribe to this channel. We are on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube as well. You can subscribe to our channel and get ready for such innovative projects and how we can move ahead with them. Learn more and achieve your success goals soon. Thank you guys. Thank you. That's all from my side. And at last, I would thank Skill Edge for this opportunity that all of you are able to move ahead with it and